All right, guys. Here with the first interview of the con. Damon Stone, always a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure's mine, sir.
You gave us one of the really greatest interviews last year, at least most, I guess, in-depth and interesting that I think the community really appreciated. So thank you again for that.
Thank you.
So what's GenCon this year for you? Like, what's the main thing that you're doing? You're looking forward to?
The Netrunner tournament.
It's massive.
Huge.
What happened? Like, what's the story behind that? You guys realize, oh my gosh, this filled up in 2 seconds, and
that's pretty much it. We expanded it, and it sold out again, and expanded it, and it's sold out again. So it's mammoth in size.
So you as a game designer, creator, a critical part of the whole apparatus here, what does that mean for you, and how has that affected Fantasy Flight? Just to be this is comparable to Magic, this is a real thing. It's crazy.
I don't know if anything really compares to Magic.
Totally, man. In another
Size-wise,
year.
it's Magic is at the top of the food chain, and rightfully so. It's a great game.
Yeah.
And first really gives you a lot of leg up. It's got a level of momentum now that I don't think that it's ever going away.
Cool.
Which is great for Wizards, great for Hasbro. I think that our games, generally speaking, fall into a different kind of niche, and I think Netrunner, while originally created by Richard Garfield, is very different than Magic. I think it falls a little bit more in line with our style of card games, which is to say, it's not a requirement to have necessarily the hottest and most rare cards to be able to make something that works. There's a lot of strategy involved, and the bluffing mechanic, which is obviously one of my most favorite things of all times. But where is this going, and how?
What is that?
I don't know. It's huge. I feel really honored that the players that just gamers in general have taken such a love to the game. So that's fantastic, and that's really due to Richard Garfield having the core mechanic design. It's just a thing of elegance.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And then Lucas's implementation of the redesign and advanced development of the core set I think has a lot to do with it having the level of balance that it really has. And there's some balance that is just now people are starting to recognize.
Yeah.
And my involvement in it is just I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Cool.
I'm happy to be here.
You just got done with I think your Game of Thrones cycle just finished, right? Were you
the last one?
Yeah. And so I think Nate's on the next one, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No.
You're on the next one.
Yes.
So I have a lot of questions for you at some point.
Okay, so here, generally speaking, this is how it works, is that Lucas and I design and develop Netrunner together, but he does most of the development, which is to say everything that happens after the initial design, these are the mechanics and the themes, and let's put it all together, and let's get some, ideas onto some cardboard.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the play testers, and then from that point on, I take more of a backseat role, and Lucas does a lot of the specific balancing. And when there's cards that are not working out, then he and I get back together and completely redesign a card.
Okay.
So I'm more of a top-level design, and pretty much the same thing now for a Game of Thrones is I do the initial game design, and since this last cycle that was actually released, Nate has done a lot of the playtesting development work.
Okay, solid.
So we work together to create the product.
Nice.
It's no longer a case of one person sort of in charge of everything.
Nice.
We have enough people on staff now that we can share the work as opposed to one person doing this, and also prevents tunnel vision, which is really really helpful.
That's easier to do whenever there's like 240 people signing up for a Netrunner tournament. It's like we can put a few people on Netrunner and feel good about it. That's awesome for you guys.
And Game of Thrones is just growing.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing there. To be able to have 2 people design and develop and usher the game through is really fantastic.
Nice. Well, are you ready for the swarm that's about to happen when those doors open? Is it ever like?
Is anybody ever ready?
I think so. It looks like you guys have a lot more demo space, so you're set up. You guys are. I think you're going to kill it this con. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can catch you later for sit down and have a really in-depth talk about drones and Netrunner. Real quick.
Yeah.
What decks are going to win Netrunner? What's the winning corp and what's the winning runner?
I can't tell you. I could tell you what it would be if I were playing the tournament.
Do you think there's 2 obvious choices here, that stick out in your head? You don't have to tell me what they are, but 2 obvious things where it's like these things have a really good chance of winning.
I think that the game is honestly so balanced that everybody has the possibility. Statistically speaking, it's probably going to be Wayland and Criminal coming out on top because they're the easiest, so they're the most straightforward, easy to wrap your mind around. So they had the greatest amount of success early on. People feel really confident with them. I don't actually think either of those are technically the best. I think that there are decks out there that are better in the right hands than those are, but we'll have to see.
Well, hey, even if
we'll have to see.
I mean, that's a beautiful sentiment, no matter how you slice it. That's why we play. That has to exist. So awesome.
I think it'll come down to whether or not people have gotten past this fear or this the crutch of in the run ice. If people have gotten past the crutch of in the run ice, NBN or Jinteki could take it. If they haven't, thank you. Then it's going to be all Wayland.
Wayland or HB probably. Yeah. Nice. All right, man. Thanks. We'll catch up with you next time.
Always a pleasure, Stephen.
Pretty soon.